doing that thing again where I can't see myself. Anyways, I'm gonna just pretend you can see me. Um, how you guys like that thumbnail? Haha, beautiful thumbnail. So I know this sounds simple. Right here, Ubering, Goobering. So I'm taking a break, go live. So I've launched a lot of products. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've launched a lot of ventures over the past many years. Okay, a lot of them were not my products. A lot of them were white labels or services or arbitrage. I've never really made my own product. I've made my own services, but I never made my own product. And until recently, until this whole AI thing came out, then I actually started because I realized, oh, I can get rid of the middleman. I can build, design, manufacture, and manage my own product. And that's what I started doing. And then over the past 2 or 3 years, or 2.5, let's just say, I've made like 4 products. One I've released to the public, which is link in the description, Vibride. The other 3, well, no, actually the second one is also live. I've made an app for my friend. That one's live. It's called 90 Day Blitz app. You can go find it on the App Store. And then the other 2 are personal products I've spent a lot of time on, but haven't released because one of them is genuinely not done, and the other one I'm testing out, stress testing before I release it. Which brings me back to this whole idea of MVP, minimum viable product. Sounds easy. Everybody talks about it, product market fit, MVP. No one actually tells you how hard it is or how to actually do it. I mean, they do, but then you don't realize how hard it is till you go through the motions. Because the first product that I made, I spent a whole year on it, and I still haven't marketed it yet. Because there was this whole scope creep that kept happening, where I kept seeing more opportunity of what the product could be, and kept adding to it and adding to it. And the more I added, the more multi-layered it became. And came to a point where I was like, yo, this is never going to finish. Meanwhile, Vibride was able to hit the market very quickly because it checked all the boxes of the hair on fire method. And this was the first time where I saw it, where it finally clicked in my head the milestones to actually launch an MVP. And the reason I think Vibride hit that hair on fire method perfectly was, actually most of the products do, and I think making Vibride is going to make my other products much quicker to begin marketing, because I made that for me. And while the other products were also for me, they were also more of I saw an opportunity that the market didn't have, and I wanted to make something that felt like could benefit from it because no one else was doing it, etc. But I could never get it to a point where I was comfortable launching it. Whereas with Vibride, I had a genuine problem. My hair was on fire. Okay, this is the hair on fire method. My hair was on fire with Vibride. Meaning I had a major problem, as if your hair's on fire. And when your hair's on fire, if you don't have the perfect solution, you'll take anything to put off that fire that's on your hair. You'll take a bag, a piece of paper, a brick. You'll just start smacking your head with whatever is in front of you, because that's how urgent the situation is. You're not waiting for a perfect hose and to put off the fire. So how do you put that into an MVP? Straightforward. I'll use Vibride as an example. Again, you can check it out in the description. I needed something to code while I was driving. I wanted to earn money and I wanted to work on my business, but I couldn't make enough money without spending at least 8 to 9 hours on the road. So I had to build something that would allow me to code while I was driving. Okay. And the first iterations of Vibride was so basic that it was so annoying. Like, it was so annoying to use this thing. Everything was glitchy. I had to click a bunch of buttons just to uh, send in my voice prompt. The text, the voice back when the model, when Claude would talk back, it had this generic text to speech. Had a generic text to speech like robot voice that you hear on like very old school browsers, like Stephen Hawking type of voice, and that stuff drove me crazy. Like when you hear a super long, complicated reply from Claude and it sounds like Stephen Hawking, it's brain numbing. Okay, it hurts your brain, but it let me do the thing I needed to do. So while it was super painful and far from perfect, it actually solved my problem, and it actually let me code while I was driving, despite all the buttons and almost getting into accidents because I was clicking a bunch of things. But it did that, and that was the where it clicked in my head. Oh, this is how you launch an MVP, because it solved the problem, and it solved it enough because the problem was so bad that I was willing to accept the Stephen Hawking multi-button clicking situation than nothing at all, because there was nothing at all. Okay, do you get that? It's the problem has to be so much nothing at all solutions that you'll accept anything. And I was also going through the same brainwashing of, oh, this is not ready for launch. By the way, it's not the Stephen Hawking's anymore. It's far progressed way beyond that. It's way better. I solved all those problems. But I had launched it and not told anyone, even when it was like that, because I was like, wait a minute. Here I am trying to perfect this thing, going back into, oh, no one would pay for this. No, but I was like, wait, but you're using it. Like, despite how annoying the current setup is, you're still using it because it's still solving your problem. And when you're getting frustrated at a product for it not being perfect, that's when you know you've hit the magic, because it means that the problem is so big that you could hate this thing, hate this product, and still use it because you need it that bad that you're willing to accept anything. So when that clicked in my brain, I was like, oh, that's how you launch MVPs. You gotta hate the product. You gotta hate it and then still see if you want to use it. You can't just hate it and then let it go. If you hate it but still keep going back to it, it means it's solving a critical problem that you're willing to accept a terrible solution. Okay? Hang on. I'm gonna do a check right now. I'm gonna actually make sure people can see me, because my screen looks black. And if I'm saying all this, and let's see. Can I see myself? All right, good. You can see me. All right, good. You can see me. But it's kind of here. Let me wipe this. It's kind of. All right, that's much better. All right, that's much better. So yeah, that's the hair on fire method. And once I had that first scaffolding, I went off and then just refined it and made it, and just got rid of every annoying thing that was driving me crazy from that product while still using the scaffolding. So the funny thing is I used the scaffolding that was pissing me off. Then I realized I still needed it despite how annoying it was. And then I used that basic scaffolding to get the product to a point where it's not annoying and it's actually kind of cool. It's still not perfect, but the voice is way better. It's actually kind of hilarious. You can change the Santa voice. You can get a Japanese anime voice. I fixed the whole audio situation with the voice going in and out. I made it more hands-free, whereas now I just like maybe click the mic once for every new chat session, or sometimes If I'm gonna have a long session, I just make it completely hands-free mode. And now I can just use the app comfortably. Now the app is so good, and it's still not even perfect, that I love it. I'm in love with it, and I think other people who try it will love it as well. Especially someone who's in my situation, who shares the same difficulties that I have. So when you're designing a product, you're gonna realize you're gonna be jumping through hoops of infinite iterations, never launching something, and then a year passes by, and you're like, "We're a product, bro." And when you see something that hits those check marks, that's when you know you have a legit product. Business model and all that stuff aside, that's a whole different story. But I'm sharing this because I know how hard it is for you to just get something out there. Because it's very normal to, when you're in control of a product, to want to control every OCD little aspect of it, which is not bad at all. But you need to have a clear definition of what that minimum scaffolding is, and start putting it out there to get feedback from people as quick as possible. And you got to make it simple, man. You cannot put this thing on a pedestal to the point where it's like you're putting your one at bat. You're putting like, oh, I only have one shot at this, which is not true. Really, if it's a good business, you want multiple shots at getting it out there. You don't want your product launch to be hinged on one video. You don't want your product success to be hinged on one version of that product. Like, oh, the first version of that product has to succeed. It's like, no, oftentimes you don't even know what you need until people start using it. I just, by mere coincidence, this product was for me, that I needed it so bad that I became its first user. And then from there, I was able to iterate what needed to be fixed in order of magnitude of what was the most annoying and the most dangerous. Like, I'm driving, right? So clicking multiple buttons, big no-no. It's like, hey, we can't do that. Now the biggest problem with my MVP is not even the software. It's the device. It's the iPad. The iPad tripod is too much. It's too angular. I can't use it when I need to buy a new tripod so that it's like aligned with my windshield. That way, when I have to click anything, it doesn't take my eyes away from the road. So it's not even related to the software. Software is fine. Hands-free is fine. I would just make it faster if more users start hopping on. By the way, it's link in the description. If I actually start getting tons of users, then I'll get a bigger server, and then it'll be even faster for me and for everybody. But I'm not gonna dish out that much. It's gonna cost hundreds of dollars to do that if I'm not getting active users, right? So again, and that's another version of MVP launch. It's like, right now it's good enough, people can use it, and anyone who's driving can benefit from it. And there'll be little things in it that'll piss them off, but they won't stop using it because it's still hyper niche down to someone who's driving and they have no other solution, so they have to use it. And from there, everything will just get better. And that's the feedback you're going to get from people, because they're using it. They're going to give you a lot of feedback. Most of it is going to be like shit feedback that you shouldn't listen to. A lot of it is going to be critical feedback. Ideally, it's a product you need and you use. Then that's something you can relate to the pain. Just like how I could relate to the speed and then the little glitchiness that happens. I was like, well, this is affecting my productivity. I need to fix this. So in order of magnitude from where I am now, it's not going to be the UI. It's not going to be the buttons. It's going to be speed, which means get a GPU and then get a bigger server rack, and then that's it. But for me right now, I don't need that. It's fine. I could deal with this latency until I make more money. And that you need to take that checklist of the hair and fire scoped to your target audience, and then like pin it down somewhere and look at it every day, because as you're designing the product, you're gonna deviate so much. You're gonna start the scope creep will happen every single day. I'm guilty of that every single day. I'm like, oh, I should do this, I should do that, but then I always go back to that. Like, even as I was launching Viberide, right now, if you go to the website, you'll see it says build software by talking, but today I'm actually going to change that to build software while driving. So while the product was done, I started doing the copywriting, and I had noticed myself switching from copywriting that's directed to drivers to making it for anyone who would be interested in hands-free software, right? Because that's a wide appeal. It's a wider message that anyone can relate to. And I had to stop myself again, because I was like, no, dude, like, it's not actually designed from the ground up. It's designed for driving. As the product grows, sure, I can expand it, but it's like, it's going back to that MVP mindset, which is right now, what is it? It's vibe coding while driving. That's it. That's what it is right now in its baby infant form. So the copywriting has to be for that baby infant form, so that it's like, yeah, okay, I think I'm gonna hyper target the messaging to people like me, who are like Uber drivers and DoorDashers, or truck drivers who are vibe coding, or maybe they don't know how to vibe code and they want to. I don't know. And from there, anyone who is looking for a hands-free product, I think they'll understand the messaging by just looking at driving while vibe code while driving, because the same elements that make it available to code while you're driving are the same elements that will let you vibe code on the go. Okay? And when you try to cater to everyone, you cater to no one. So I went back, I rechanged all the copywriting, all the marketing to driving only. And then we're gonna revolve everything around driving. And if that's the lowest hanging fruit, if that doesn't bite, then expanding the market won't make sense. Like, it won't make sense to make it for everyone who wants vibe coding on the go. No. Now it's like whatever. Now I'm just like expanding this MVP thing. There's no product market fit. There's no nothing. So the copywriting is your ad, and that ad is your MVP scope. And you have to stick to it, like, religiously. Like, look at it every day. Don't build anything that doesn't fall along the lines. I think copywriting is probably the best way to get your MVP product scope hands down. Because in copywriting, if you study copywriting, they'll tell you trim the fat, which is everything in your message, your little block of product feature or product benefit. Like, every word has to fight for its life. If a word is like an extra word that doesn't need to be there, get rid of it, so that every single word is trimmed to the T and earns its place in that section, because you're fighting for that attention. So that copywriting, it can be long, it can be short, but it has to be hyper specific to the person you're targeting and nothing else. Okay? So the best way to do that is what you want is, when you think of a product, you want to find out all the problems that aren't being satisfied, and then you make a made up script. You make a fake script for this dream product that solves all these problems that you've identified through your market research. And then once you have that perfect sales script of this dream product that doesn't exist, then you go see, we got a Mansalini in the chat. What's up, Mansalini? Then you go see if you can actually build it. So you write that copywriting, you make the ad first, then you go see if you can hit all those benefits by producing that product. Most people will go and build a product and then try and make the ad, which is wrong. Like, because then you build something and they're like, okay, well, how do I sell it? uh, you should have known that already, right? Whereas if you identified and the sales script and the marketing is speaking to that demographic and pains and gains and uh, features and benefits. So you write the dream product that could do the dream things that could solve your infinite problems, and then you go see how much of that can you actually create. And then obviously, you delete the stuff that doesn't. You're not supposed to lie to people. But the point is that sales script becomes your product scope. Then you try and build it, and then the marketing is kind of done because the product already does that dream script. You see what I'm saying? And that becomes your MVP. That becomes your little scope. And what do you know about copywriting and ads? Hyper specific. So that's why I love this product, because it just. And I knew all this stuff, but it was hard to implement because it's so easy to lose control of an MVP and start making infinite features and infinite this, because it's fun. I mean, I get it. It's addicting. You want to OCD about your product. Um, but with this product, everything kind of just aligned and just clicked. I was like, oh, I get it now. Here's the first version came out. And then it was so annoying. I'm like, all right, as we're using it, build the second version, third version. Now the version you see in the website, if if you go see the website right now, you'll see that was made with the infant product. Like that nice UI and all that and the cool voices, that was made while I was driving. So I used the shitty version to build the sexy version. And then that sexy version is gonna get even sexier. Like, you don't even know what I got planned. And it's not even that hard. I'm not even trying to like build on this thing forever. It's just like right now I'm trying to see if anyone else would like it. But it's at a good point. But there's genuinely a lot of things that I can just slap on there to make it 10 times more sexy with very little effort. So yeah, and I mean, that's how you do it. That's how you launch an MVP. I don't know what TMI is, but to make $1 million, I basically just gave you the keys to the kingdom right there. You want to make fat stacks of cash? See, this guy doesn't get it. He still thinks the prompt is give me $1 million. Really, you just build a product. You get the product market fit, and then you market the hell out of it. And with 1,000 users, you're pretty much a millionaire. Like at $30, $40 a month, at like a low ticket, you really only need a couple thousand people to make your first million. After that, it's like not that hard. Like, I know a guy, he has a free product and he has thousands of users, and he's gonna charge like hundreds of dollars for it. And that's it. I mean, he's pretty much gonna be set for the rest of his life because he launched this product and it solves a big problem. And I mean, those thousands of users is gonna feed him for the next 2 or 3 years. He just made his first million, a couple millions, from a free product. And when he was building his product, he went through many pivots and many iterations of it, by following the same system. So another thing, I actually learned that from him, which is he was like, instead of like, let's say you can't even get the MVP to the scope that you want. What this guy did is he started pretending that the scope was done by doing the work himself. So, for example, if let's say I'm doing your bookkeeping, let's say I made a bookkeeping software. He told me, you know, if the product is like halfway there, then reach out to people and do their bookkeeping as if it's the software, but you just do it for them and you use the software. And then that way you're at least getting users to in your system, and then you're building the product through the errors that occur from what the product can't do at 100%. That's and I was like, that's a great strategy. That I could use that in anything because like I could spin up a tool that does like 50% of this problem, and then it's not good enough for me to go to businesses and charge for it. But I can go in as a service provider and then tell them, hey, I will do your XYZ for you at for free or even at X like half the price, and you start just like working the product and then fixing the gaps as they go. But at least now you're already in market and seeing what the market actually needs. Because until then, you don't even know what your product can do. You don't even know if it's like you're building it the right way. And this guy Reid Hoffman, when he was building LinkedIn and they wanted their first MVP of LinkedIn out, they were obsessing over, oh, no one's gonna use this if it doesn't have the search feature. No one. But then they made a mistake where they launched it before they had that, and then they realized that first 100 users that the main problem stopping people from using their product had nothing to, first of all, had nothing to do with the search feature, and two, was something they didn't even build. Okay, so they're like, oh shit, and then they lost those 100 users, and they have to go back and fix it. And but then that's why speed is actually important, because you need to get feedback as soon as possible. And yeah, so I'm trying to get feedback on this product. Go click the link in the description, check it out. But let me know if this made sense, or if this was valuable to you guys. Hair and fire method, dude. I'm telling you, it's the way. I relate personally to it now because I went through the motions. So you might as well, if you don't know what to do, you got to build stuff that you understand. I think that's crucial now, because it just, that's what's going to make you fast, and that's what's going to make you launch an MVP quick, because you yourself have that burning problem, and you yourself will know when that problem is fixed, versus trying to go out there and just build solutions to things because there's problems. I always thought, and that works, don't get me wrong, I've done plenty of businesses that made money by just going out and filling a gap, right? That's just basic enterprise. Oh, there's a gap here, put up a thing. How do I get hair like yours? You gotta put it on fire, man. If your hair is not on fire, it ain't Studzen. Otherwise, you know, tough luck. Tough luck, buddy. You need, what's that thing called? Modafinil. I've been getting so many ads for modafinil. Can I vibe code through Viberide? You can Viberide through Viberide. You can't vibe code, man. So, here's the thing about vibe coding. I noticed that people think you still need to code or know code in order to vibe code. Look, I don't know how many times I have to explain this, but maybe I will have to explain this in many videos. Maybe Viberide, a researcher focused on hair care. No, actually, one product I want to build is being able to see like what ingredients are on products. When you look at the back of a product, there's so many ingredients on there when I'm like shopping, and oftentimes there's like all this other stuff that I don't even know if it's good or bad. And that's a genuine problem I have. And it's like, hey, like at first I thought it was like a silly idea, like, you know, I don't want to take a picture and go through an LLM and whatever and see if those products, I was like, that's gonna take too long. But now I go through that so much times when I'm looking for snacks or food, and I see all these products and I'm like so overwhelmed, because sometimes you'll see all these chemical names and some of them are not even bad chemicals, like they're legit just they just have to declare it as such, He's like, build that using Vibride MVP. I actually will. I actually am. I'm gonna build it, but not today because I can't. It's raining. I'm not gonna drive and I can't. The thing is, I had my phone here today. I was gonna showcase Vibride. I I brought I brought my third phone. See, it's in a tripod because this phone is for the GPS in Uber, and then the iPad is for vibrating, and then this guy was supposed to do the live broadcast, but there was no place to put this in the car, and every time I drove, this thing fell around. So I was like, okay, I need a third phone mount if I'm gonna live stream driving and vibrating. Then it would be that would be a cool video because then it'll be like this, but I'll actually be building a product, and you'll be able to see me building the product while driving and making money. That's coming up next, but I need to figure out how to mount that third phone. This Mancelini guy's on crack. He's on crack. Let me see. Let's put a poll. Did you check out Vibride? There we go. Where is it? Where's that poll? You guys even see it? Litter bugs me. Oh, I just saw that comment. Beth Taylor says hi. Hello, Beth. Litter bugs me. Fix the litter, man. What? What's wrong? Go fix the litter. You could do that. Yo, where's my poll? Come on. Lighting on. Nope. Turn off the lighting. Where were we? So any questions? Any questions? Forgot what I was saying. But yeah, this is yeah. So I remember vibe coding, right? Everyone thinks you need to know how to program in order to vibe code. Like they're missing the whole point. There is a free trial, goddamn. Go click the link in the description, guys. Free trial in the link. 14 days only. If you don't use it in 14 days, you don't get that aha moment, I'm sorry. I'm not making it any longer than that. I don't want people to. I don't want jeeters and skaters. I just want serious people, man. If you're serious about it, you can figure it out in 7 days. I might even drop the trial to only 7 days, just so that I make sure people use it quick, and don't like get a subscription and then, oh, I'll use it later, and procrastinators and stuff like that. Like, I don't want any of that. Either use it as soon as you get it or go away. So yeah, with vibe coding, you don't, like, I'm telling you, you don't need to know how to program. Like, you will learn the programming fundamentals, which are so basic. Yeah, I could probably teach you in one video, and from there you just talk to the AI. Like, if you see how I prompt the AI, it's so sad. Like, I feel like an actual caveman, like an actual idiot. I talk to AI like an actual idiot, and I'll literally tell it, please dumb this down for me. Please give me a short, simple explanation. Please simplify this for me. Like, I talk to it like a caveman, and I get really far by doing that. So you don't need to know how to code. Okay, you just need to know how to ask questions, and you need to know how to just think about software a little bit, and then after that, you'll start building things instantaneously. Like, whatever little like, everyone has an idea. If you're someone who's creative, I mean, look at that thumbnail. You like that thumbnail I did? I did that while driving. Okay, that was a cool thumbnail. I liked it. If you're creative and you got ideas, you can pull stuff up like that of your ass every single day. It's really fun. It's one of the most fun things ever, man. I can't believe how many creative people don't use AI, or idea people, like artists, creatives, or idea people. not using AI just doesn't make sense. I'm like, you have no idea what you're missing out on. Shit is addictive because you can just spit and manifest every single idea. There is not enough time in the world to dish out all your ideas because of how easy it is to manifest your ideas now. And the reason I chose the name Vibride was because I think I talked about this in the previous video. I'm gonna say it again. With Robo Taxi coming to Florida, and I think it's in New York, it's in Texas, with DoorDash releasing all these drones, which I think is gonna fail. The drones are gonna fail. It's a bad idea, terrible idea. Uh, they're gonna need to transition all these gig workers into people who hang out. They're gonna pay people. I'm gonna assume this is my prediction for the future. They're gonna pay people to sit in cars that are self-driving to monitor food and deliveries until they can replace you with a robot that's reliable. Because there's no way they're gonna have restaurant folks and delivery folks who don't who are not the couriers to pick up the package, go to the robo taxi, put it in the robo taxi, and then go back to their store. Even if they make it super cheap, they're just not gonna do that. Restaurants are always way too busy. Looking for the car is gonna take a long time. They gotta go on the app. Oh, is it this robo taxi or is it that robo taxi? Like, it's a mess. What happens now? It's easy. The driver goes in. The restaurant doesn't have to know anything. They're just like, show me the name of the order, and then they give it to you. Okay. So until Optimus can do that, they're not gonna replace the people. But what they will do is replace the fare for the drivers. So it's because there's no more drivers. The car is going to be so cheap to operate that and it'll be cheap for the user. So they'll be the economics don't make sense. So instead they'll be like, well, you can make less money, but you can just sit in a car all day and do whatever you want. Because at that point, you won't need to. They won't need to monitor your face to make sure you're looking at the road because it's already a robo taxi. There's no steering wheel. It's already like a self-driving car. So you're just gonna sit there. A lot of forward-thinking, creative, scrappy entrepreneurs are gonna get in there with their laptops, and they're just gonna code all day, and they're gonna get paid by the hour, maybe like $6 an hour, $5 an hour to just monitor food, and then go into a restaurant every 20 minutes to pick something up and put it back, and then they're just going to be on their computers all day. So if they're going to be at home all day coding, why not sit in a comfortable car all day, get driven around, meet a little bit of folks, and get paid, right? So imagine how many people can fund their startups by just sitting in a car. So that's what I'm seeing. Until the robots, I don't know how long that's going to take. It might be short-lived. It may be a year or maybe more than that. I don't know. But I think it's going to happen. I think the useful tools should help the average person cut through the headaches. MVP, clean website, easy to navigate. Yes, I agree. And I'm also going to add a lot of templates in there from all the stuff that I've spent the past 2 years collecting where there's overlap. And then that's going to make it super easy to launch a product. So you don't have to deal with the regular headaches of like databases, login, Stripe stuff, like just a little boilerplate. It's so simple. Once you have that, then you actually don't need to program because it's already done for you, and the Claude agent already knows how to handle that because there's pre-built instructions. So you just literally just be the design iterator. But yeah, I think people are going to be able to fund their startups by just sitting in a car. And I'm gonna call it vibe riding. You just like vibe coding. But right now, because we're not there, you might as well milk the opportunity if you're a gig driver to get the app, start coding while you're driving. You're already getting paid for the bills. Now build the thing that might replace them. Okay. So, anyways, I gotta get started on my Ubering because the rain is almost over now, and yeah, I don't want to yap too much. I want to stay on topic here. And yeah, see you guys later. Thank you for tuning in. Catch y'all